Everyone online is telling you something different about the housing market right now. Half the headlines say it's a terrible time to buy. The other half say sellers are leaving money on the table by waiting. So which one is actually true? In this video, I'm breaking down the real financial impact of buying and selling a home here in the Greenville, Spartanburg, and Upstate areas. The actual numbers, the actual options, and how to know which move is right for you. Let's start with the buying process, because most people only think about the down payment. If you're putting down the standard 20% on a conventional loan, that is a big chunk of change right up front. FHA loans allow as little as 3.5%. VA loans for eligible veterans can go all the way to 0% down. Then there are closing costs, which most people forget to budget for. Typically 2 to 5% of the purchase price, covering things like appraisal, inspection, title work, and lender fees. And here's something that's different right now compared to a couple of years ago. Buyers actually have room to negotiate. Sellers are increasingly willing to cover a part of your closing costs or pay to buy down your interest rate, sometimes saving you real money every month. So what are your actual options for financing? Conventional loans are the most common, typically requiring a credit score of around 620 or higher. FHA loans are more flexible on credit and down payment, which makes them popular for first-time home buyers. VA loans are one of the best benefits available if you or your spouse served. Zero down, no PMI, competitive rates, and we have a large veteran community throughout the Upstate who qualify. USDA loans offer zero down financing in certain rural parts of Spartanburg and Greenville counties, which surprises a lot of people. And if you're relocating for a company like BMW, Michelin, or Prisma Health, some employers offer relocation assistance or preferred lender programs worth asking about before you start house hunting. The bottom line, the right loan depends entirely on your credit, your timeline, and your down payment, which is exactly why I always recommend getting pre-approved with a local lender before you fall in love with a house. Now, let's flip this to selling, because the number on your listing price is not the number that lands in your bank account. First, there's agent commissions, which is negotiable and typically covers both listing agent and buyer's agent. South Carolina is also an attorney closing state, so you'll have attorney's fees at closing. You'll pay deed stamps, which is South Carolina's transfer tax, prorated property taxes for the year, and often a home warranty offered as a buyer incentive. On top of that, most sellers spend something on getting the home ready, whether it's a deep clean, fresh paint, minor repairs, or even staging. None of this means selling isn't worth it. It just means the number you actually care about isn't your sale price. It's your net proceeds, the amount that's really yours after everything is paid. That's the number I calculate for every seller before we even put a sign in the yard. Once you know your numbers, you actually have more options than most people realize. Cash offer companies and iBuyers will close fast and skip repairs, but they typically pay well below the market value. So that convenience also has a real cost. If you're worried about selling before you find your next home, there are also bridge options and contingent purchase strategies that let you buy your next home before your current one closes, so that you're never stuck moving twice. And if you own investment property, not just a primary residence, a 1031 exchange can let you roll your gains into another investment property and defer paying capital gains tax. That's a conversation I always tell my clients to have with their CPA, because those timelines are very strict and it's a powerful option a lot of upstate landlords don't know about. Here's a number that surprises a lot of long-time upstate homeowners. If you've owned and lived in your home as your primary residence for at least 2 of the last 5 years, you can generally exclude up to $250,000 of capital gains tax if you're single, or $500,000 if you're married, filing jointly. For a lot of people who bought in this area 10, 15, 20 years ago, that covers the entire gain, meaning you can walk away with a significant amount of tax-free equity. I'm not a CPA or a tax attorney, so I always tell my clients to confirm their exact numbers with their tax professional. But as a certified senior real estate specialist, I can tell you this. I talk to more people every week who are sitting on far more equity than they realize. And that equity can fund exactly the next chapter they want. Whether that's downsizing to a low maintenance home, moving closer to family, or funding retirement. You don't have to figure this out alone, and you don't have to decide anything before you actually know your numbers. So, buy or sell? Which is the smarter financial move right now? Honestly, it depends on your situation, not the headlines. If you have steady income, at least something saved for a down payment, and you're planning to stay put for several years, buying can make sense, especially with sellers who are more willing to negotiate more now than they have been in years. If you're a homeowner sitting on significant equity, especially if you've been here more than 10 years, selling in this market while inventory is still tight and well-priced homes are moving fast, you could put more in your pocket than waiting for someday. There's no universal right answer. There's only the right answer for your numbers. If you want to actually see your numbers, what you'd really walk away with if you sold, or what you'd really pay each month if you bought a home, message me and let's book a free, no-pressure consultation. Email me at sbruns@kwe.com or comment numbers below, and I'll reach out personally. Since 2012, I've helped Upstate families make this decision with real numbers instead of guesswork, and I'd love to help you do the same.